So now YouTube decided to. YouTube is fucking weird, man. So now, like, yeah, if you ever like want to do like live streaming, dude, like it's just pathetic. Like who's ever in charge of live streaming really needs to like who's ever in charge of these programs really needs to like just get fucking fired. Or, like something's gonna happen where like somebody there's gonna be some kid who just does a far better job with this shit and makes it just so much better to just work. Because now, like, well, you guys don't know how I had to like rig it up to make it work before, but yeah, it's really pretty bad. But the good part is the quality's a bit better because I can see myself on the iPad, from what I at least know. What's up, Am Najas? Andre Williams. Hope you feeling better. Yeah, man, I was sick. I was sick last week. I'm still a little off now. I think it was the weather, man. I think it was the weather. Because the weather went down, and then this Sunday it's gonna get like dive down into actual freezing at night. So I gotta remember to bring the plants in on Sunday. 'Cause you don't want them to freeze. They shouldn't freeze. So yeah, but yeah. So I changed the bit rate. I felt like gambling again with fucking Streamlabs, and so I changed the bit rate. I made it higher, and uh-oh. And it does look, at least it looks clearer to me on the iPad. Oh, in front, like because I was running like a YouTube second stream on the piece on the MacBook to see it, so I could see myself, make sure it's not like skipping too bad. But that just stopped working. I don't know what happened with that. So hopefully I could see every comment in here because sometimes I'll get comments like in Streamlabs but not YouTube, or in YouTube but not Streamlabs. So like if I've ever ignored anybody, it wasn't on purpose. Like yeah, I just won't see every um chat. But yeah, planning to check. Are you gonna move here? Well, come on, man. Yeah. What's good? I'm studying to become a jeweler. Word. I never even knew how to even do that. That's one of those fields. That's one of those fields I don't know much about. Like I've always kind of wanted to know, but I just don't know much about. Forgot where I was because I was playing. Oh, what did I just do? Okay, I was playing this and the baby was here. I was playing this in Forza Motorsport, the new one that came out on Game Pass, and the baby was here. What was the buttons? Not this. Okay. And I actually got pretty far for me in a 2D game. Make sure I'm gonna keep checking the. I'm gonna pause intermittently to make sure you guys aren't watching a fucking slideshow because I hate that slideshow shit, man. Like I could do with like fucking 480p, but the second that shit like starts to the frame rate, oh shit, gets too bad. I think I'm pretty. Okay. Like I'm pretty sure what's coming next is I'm gonna have to get a double jump, some type of double jump upgrade. Like this is a Metroidvania. Like people like on Metroidvanias. Like some games get called Metroid. Hold on, let me make sure you guys can hear me. A double jump. Okay, yeah. Some type so, of double jump upgrade. So you can hear echo real fast. But yeah, some people like I think Metroidvania gets tossed around a bit too much. Um like in my opinion, what makes a Metroidvania is if I'm like legitimately lost. Like I just have no idea where I'm at. Right? Like so like at least with this game, I haven't gotten to that point yet where I'm just like absolutely like hopelessly like Metroids get to the point where like oh, this is where because I think I gotta go here, but I don't know how to get out. Metroids get to the point where like I'll just end up just absolutely. Okay, maybe I'm gonna try going up there because I can't get through that door. Okay, yeah, Metroidvania just get to the point where I'm just completely just hopelessly lost. I have absolutely no idea where I'm supposed to go next. You know, that type of shit, right? Like, absolutely no idea. Like, everything's looking the same type of shit. So I played, I really enjoyed Moon Scars. I played that last week. I'm just checking to make sure the frame rate looks right. I really enjoyed Moon Scars. I really enjoyed that. I really liked that game. I'm sure if I liked it, people in that community wouldn't like it. I'm just like that type of person, you know. But I really, oh, I didn't mean to break that. I really enjoyed Moon Scars. There was something down here. What was it? Well, hang on. I've already been here anyway. Oh, God. Okay, yeah, because I remember I came here. Something. I feel like it's starting to skip a little bit on the stream. Okay, so I gotta go over. Oh yeah, fuck this up. Oh yeah, no, this isn't what I'm thinking of. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, this upgrade. So I don't know if I can do this or I'm just doing it wrong. Okay, there we go. You gotta hit up and do it. Oh God. Oh, I'm too close. Ah, I'm too close. I keep fucking that up. Is it lagging? Doesn't look too bad. Looks better than it did last week. That shit looked terrible last week. I can play Cuphead now. That the stream's acting right. Oh no, it has that two-player shit that keeps popping up. Yeah, I already went that way. So all this is new to me now. Oh shit! I didn't know it was. You sure? It's still smooth, but I can see it's like chopping up a little bit, but it's better than it was last week. What's this? Oh, I got a race. Motherfucker, are you serious? What's up, Ivy Bolt? What's up, Mike? Oh, I fucked up right at the end. Oh, I don't think I can make it. At least I'm not gonna waste my time on it now. Or is this? No, I don't. Go down here. I don't mean to do that. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay. Oh. Really? You ain't gonna tell me that's down? You just gonna let me do it? Where am I at now? Okay. Oh, God. I'm surprised I got that on the first try. Usually I would have fucked that up. Is it starting to lag? I'm trying to see. It's still well. Oh yeah, it's starting to skip. I don't know why it's doing that, man. Let me check. Hang on, let me check my Yeah, I have no idea why it's doing that shit. It starts to just lag after a while. Because yeah, I don't know. Nothing. Okay. No games like this. Oh, this is a trance. Okay, yeah. I forgot what that did. Yeah, it's starting to lag. I can see it now. Oh, I can't get through either way. You don't let me come all. See, that's the shit I hate about like these Metroidish kind of like they'll let you go like all the way in one direction. You know what I mean just to like, oh yeah, but sorry, you can't go. Yeah, you gotta go all the way back. Like, shit's fucking annoying. Yeah, I'm ready to stop the game stream now because it's lagging like it's unbearable now. It's getting like it's getting too bad. So I'm gonna find a next save spot and I'm gonna just cut it off. I thought that might have helped changing the bit rate, but okay, here it is. We're good. So yeah. Here we are. Okay. Let me just do it again just to be safe. Okay. Oh shit! I unplugged the wrong thing. Yeah. There. That was the right one. All right. Yeah, I unplugged the wrong thing. It's fix it. I'm watching the stream now. It's like probably like a 10-second delay. It's coming back. What's up, Xavier? So yeah. Actually, you know what? I was gonna open the window, but it'll be all right. So, hope everybody's doing all right, wherever you are. I'm still just a little off, man. Like just I think it's the weather just like fucked me up pretty bad. Not pretty bad. I'm not like fucked up, but it's like it's like you could just kind of that low key. What's this? That like you just kind of like you're just like a little fucked up, but not like super fucked up. I just been like this for a while, for like about a week or two, about a week and a half now, because today's Tuesday. So yeah. Wish gaming companies stop spending 60% of the game budget in graphics and marketing. Yeah, Resils. I hope I pronounced it. I always say that. Yeah, man. Like, because the thing, like, yeah, I agree. Because graphics at this point, there's just no real, unless you're just trying to make a game like No Man's Sky, that where like the graphics would really have that all factor. You know what I mean? Like, unless it was a game like that, like most games just don't need that level of realism to it. Like most games just don't need it anymore. Like, and on top of that, the whole video game Christ, the video card situation, everybody's pissed off about video cards and like all that shit, dude. Like in my opinion, like a lot of that it's just not needed. It's just not. It's just unnecessary. But I think the gaming, the PC game, at least the PC gaming community, it's starting. The gaming community on a whole, and I think especially the PC gaming community, it's starting to become and it's becoming an iPhone situation where people just want to buy the newest shit, right? Regardless of if it's actually a true improvement of your quality of life with it. They're just say, fuck it, new iPhone, buy it. I gotta have it because it's the new one, right? And I mean, yeah, like statistic, like on a statistical level, it could be better, but like, is it actually improving your life, right? Like, like with because I can go out and buy a 4090 and all that shit like that, but like most people, I think somebody did a study on it where like a lot of people who did that end up playing like old games that like they're playing like old games that don't even need it type of shit. And very few games like genuinely. Now, some people may just like the 4K, 120 frames a second, ultra high quality. But I think a lot of that is the person is just like desperately trying to find an identity, because any game you play, after 5 minutes, unless the game looks unnaturally like if you go under, I'd say 1080. That's when you're genuinely gonna know, if the gameplay is great and the story is great, you're not gonna care about the resolution like that, right? Most people won't. I think some people try to pretend they do. I think a very small population genuinely cares. Like for example, like in the audiophile community, I think a very small percentage of the people genuinely care and genuinely like it. But I think the overwhelming rest of the majority are just a lot of people just like trying to dip and dabble with it and trying to see just how good they can get it, kind of thing. That ended up turning into an iPhone situation where people are just gonna buy a new iPhone just because it's a new iPhone, regardless of if it's actually improving their quality of life, improving what they were actually doing with the phone, right? But more of what's going into iPhone, more of the reason why most people are going to buy a new iPhone now is just to say I have a new iPhone, right? Because okay, majority of people who are going to use an iPhone, which I have, most of my shit is Mac, right? This is a MacBook, I got an iPad sitting right here, and I have an iPhone 7. I still use an iPhone 7, right? And my reason is because, okay, all I'm using my iPhone for is checking emails. Because I actually can make money off my phone, right? I'm not just buying the phone just to use as a status symbol. But that phone has paid itself off like 10 times over, right? Right. I think that's the big separator in the consumer at some level group, right? Like when I bought something, whether it was the iPad, now the AirPod, okay, I would say the AirPods was more of a luxury purchase, right? I'll admit that, but okay. And the reason why I wanted the AirPods was because I'm that person who will have earplugs in, like these. Because I got this for the PC. How you wear these are I forgot, I don't know what the wired earbuds, whatever you want to call them, like these, right? Like I'm the person who will be on the phone like this and forget that I put the phone, on a table, and get to talking and then like walk off and the phone will like hit, hit the floor, right? So like for me, the reason why I thought that the AirPods would be a good investment was because one, I was always on Bluetooth headsets, right? I always loved the Bluetooth headset, and they were actually pretty cheap when they first came out. They were like 50, but you can get a good one for like $50 when they first came out. So I still remember my best Bluetooth head. It was this old Motorola that I actually bought from my dad, and my dad actually never used it, so he gave it back to me, and I ended up using it and used that thing for. I used it till it broke, till it just wouldn't work anymore. Um, but yeah, so with the AirPod or the Bluetooth, I was always on that Bluetooth shit like long before the AirPods came out, right? And that Motorola was by far the best Bluetooth. I don't even know what model it is, but it was old. This was long ago. I was living in Dayton, Ohio when this came. Like in my early days of Dayton, Ohio when that came out. And so like the AirPods, it was like part luxury, part like insurance, because with AirPods you put in, there's no wire, so you don't have to worry about dragging the phone or dragging whatever it's hooked up to off the fucking table and it breaking, right? So it was part luxury, part insurance. It was expensive because I had tried pretty much every Bluetooth headset I could find, right? Any Bluetooth headset I could find that was not the price of AirPods when they came out. I tried them, right? And every other Bluetooth headset that I ever had after that Motorola one was a piece of shit for one reason or another, right? Either it'd be good as long as you was holding your head this way, but as soon as you turn your head that way, it would just stop working, or the audio quality was just shit. It was always something else. Like the AirPods were the only ones that I found that were, because I tried the ones that were on a collar. I tried that it was good, but you really had to hold your head the right way type of shit. It wasn't just free flowing. You just pop it in, you just use it and just move. I just couldn't find one that worked right. So the AirPods was the best one by far, by a long shot that I was able to find. Maybe there's another. Maybe Beats came up and made something. I've heard everybody's in the wire. Well, the thing is, nowadays wireless headsets are a dime a dozen, decent now. I could buy some in Czech Republic for $20, and they're pretty. And they're great. I like them. They don't have like little features like if you take it out, it doesn't automatically pause the screen like an AirPod would, but the sound quality and phone quality is great. I love them. I have them as a backup. I don't know where they are, but they're a backup. I keep them as a backup just in case something happens. But well, yeah, back to the Apple to the Apple and PC gaming, man. With the PC gaming shit, like yeah, the graphics are just I agree with whoever said the graphics are just too everybody's focused on a graph, and I think a big reason why the graphics are being focused on is to constantly keep recruiting new people into it, right? I think to recruit new people into it and to think that they have to spend $1,200 on a video card to play it. Because I remember before I got into PC gaming, my first thoughts about PC gaming was you had to always buy new parts until I actually got into it. I was like, oh, you don't have to. Like they just you would think that, but you don't have to buy new PC. There's motherfuckers still rocking a 1080 Ti. I got a 980 Ti, right? Because I got this PC because I didn't really buy it for me, but I ended up with it. But I got a 980 Ti. Like I don't have any issues with it. They're on the 40 series now, right? And motherfuckers still rocking 980, 1080 Ti's and perfectly fine with it, right? But I think it's that small percentage. What statistically speaking, if you look at Steam, was it Steam.com or the Steam website, they document like how many people are using like different video cards and all that shit. And most people are using just like the average shit, right? Most people are just using, average. But it's that small percentage of people that says like, oh, I have to have 4K 120 frames a second or else my PC's garbage kind of thing. Like that small percentage kind of like gets the most attention because they're the ballers of the PC world. But yeah, I agree with you, man. The graphics and marketing is just ruining because most of the games that I play like in my off time, well, like Blasphemous, like it's these much smaller games, right? The games that I spend more time with are like older games. There's tons of older games, smaller games, a bunch of indie games Those are the best games. The mainstream games are just garbage, man. I don't even touch them. Like I what? Because everything turned to Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, but they've been doing the same shit now for the last decade. Everything's just Call of Duty, and I just don't care for it at all. But yeah, can you do the Wednesday live stream request? Yeah, sure. Ivy Bolt, what's your opinion on women replying after a couple of days? What do you think is the righteous way to reply back, except ignoring her for good? The day, the day she delayed the conversation times two. Well, if you're in the U.S., I was speaking with somebody a few days ago, and I got to admit, like, I'm so out the realm of that U.S. shit and how bad it's really gotten there. Because I've been gone effectively for 7 years, for 7 years. Because when I did go back, I didn't, I wasn't there long. So like I didn't really have to get back out there in that world, in that mentality, in that world. So like if you're in the U, it really depends on where you are. But because in the U.S., like the women are just dominating, like, and they're miserable for it, but they're just dominating. There, man, like I would say, just take 2 days to write her back. Yeah, at least 2 days. Or if you wrote her, right? If you wrote her on some I'm interested in you shit, like she knows you're interested in her, and she did that, yeah, then definitely do that, right? That for sure. Yeah, I would say at least 2 days to write her back. Cause she gonna actually remember. Okay, cause she's gonna remember that motherfucker that hit her up 2 days later. Right. I was talking on the phone with a friend of mine because my throat's been fucked up for the last week, man. But a friend of mine, he's in a rough situation. So if he calls, like I'll pick up for him. But I've been like sick. I've been fucked up. And I stumbled into a saying talking to him because him and his wife had problems, and now she's gone and all that. And and I told her, a miserable woman is a happy woman, and a happy woman is a miserable woman. And that's just how it is. Let me get, what do I do with let me get these tissues so I can blow my nose. Yeah, a miserable woman is a happy woman, and a happy woman is a miserable woman. So I had to explain it to him. Right? I had to explain to him, like, it's always the guy who like tries to buy her everything, pay for her house, pay for her food, pay for her car, pay for her clothes. It's always that man who ends up sitting in the corner talking about, man, I gave her everything and she just left with some other guy. It's always that guy. It's always that guy who put in who gave her all that effort and then sat around and was like, oh, I gave her everything, blah, 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 blah. Right? And I had to explain, that's why she's miserable, because you gave her everything up front. Right? And she's still gonna fuck up because she's just a woman. My girl fucked up lately. Technically it wasn't my shit, but she fucked up. And, I had to check her on it. Because every woman's going to try you. Like, that's just what women do. Like, they're going to try you. It's just, like, because they're children. So I told my girl, we got to talk because I seen her today. And I told her, like, because women are animals, right? Like, they're just animals. And to explain it, woman is an animal because like an animal, a woman can just walk around on her emotions and her first 10 seconds of thought and survive off that, right? Because somebody's always just because for what she is, her role is still fulfilled. So to my girl, she was sitting on the bed and I was explaining to her. So to explain that, let's say like you want to go out and okay, what's the difference between a fucking deer and a human, right? Like a human plans shit out where deers just walk off and just be deers, right? They don't like sit down and start doing calculus and no shit like that, right? So let's say when the first humans got hungry and they seen that deer, right? What was the first human's first thought to go off and try to find something when we started feeling hungry and figured he can eat that motherfucker, right? The first thing a human wanted to do was just go running after a deer, right? But the thing is, very few humans would actually be successful doing that. It's safe to say no humans were successful in doing it, right? Right? Because you're never gonna catch a deer that way. The deer is always gonna beat you in a foot race. You ain't gonna catch no deer in no foot race if that motherfucker wants to get away from you, right? So what do you do as a human? You got to sit. You got to sit down. You got to analyze. You got to think above your immediate emotions and figure out how to hunt this motherfucker effectively, right? Right. So like, and this is why I say women are animals, right? Because women are literally a half step up from a fucking deer, right? She doesn't think. She doesn't have to think. She just walks around. She just operates on her initial emotion, and just keeps going. Right now, the difference is because with a woman, she can, the difference is with a woman is she knows there's always some desperate chump that'll just, pay for her entire existence. So she can always tap out and just, go with whatever that guy is, whoever that guy is. Right. But it's the same thing. So when a man is going after a woman, right, what a man is, he has to think above himself. He can't. If a man goes out there and okay, there's in modern society, right, with social norms, if a man decides to go out there and do that, he's gonna get locked up in prison. If a man wants to go out there and do what he wants to do just off of emotions, the same way women can do it, a man is going straight to prison. Right, because men are the only ones held accountable for their actions. Women are very rarely held accountable for their actions. By the time a woman's held accountable for her actions, she's been doing some bad shit and got caught copious amounts of times. Dude. Look. So this is when I told her, and she got kind of in a bad mood. She goes, "Well, I never heard that before." But that's what it is. Like, I wish it wasn't like that, right? I wish it was a thing. I wish we lived in a world where when man got hungry, he could just walk up to a deer and be like, "Excuse me, can I eat you?" And they'd be like, "Okay, yeah, come on, bro. Yeah, just stay away from my thighs because I like them, but you can eat my legs a little bit and they'll grow back." And I wish we lived in a world like that, but we don't. I wish we lived in a world where men can walk up to women and be like, hey, like, I just think you're so beautiful. Can I take you out sometime? And that shit genuinely work, and she actually respects that motherfucker. Like, I wish the world worked like that, but it doesn't. I was talking to the old female friend of mine before the 2 nights before he called, and I had her laughing, like cracking up on the phone, right? Because I said, I said, how many times have you heard a woman go, "Oh my God, he's just so nice. I got to have sex with him and have his baby. He's just so nice. I'm just crazy about." Oh no. What I said was, okay, how this works is when you approach, right? If a woman walks up to if a woman, right, any woman walks up to a man and goes, "Oh my God, I just think you're just very attractive. I just really like you. I think you're just beautiful." If a woman walks up to a man, right, and says some shit like that, like, "Oh my God, I think you're attractive. I think you're amazing. Blah, blah, blah. I think you're just elegant and I think your intelligence is beautiful and all this shit." A man the man who was on the receiving end of that, he'd be like, "Oh, come on, bitch, let's go." Right? As long as she wasn't horrifically ugly, you could use her for something, right? And be respectful along the way, right? But on the flip side, and this is where she started laughing. If a man walks up to you, talking to her, if a man walks up to a woman and goes, "Oh my God, you are just so beautiful. I would just love the opportunity to take you out for a cup of coffee and all that," she gonna look at him and go, "Oh, thank you. Now get the fuck away from me, you fucking creep." Like, and that's when she started laughing because she knew it was true. Because she knew it was true. But it goes back to that thing. A happy woman is a miserable woman, and a miserable woman is a happy woman. That's just what it is. So you never hear stories of women having 5 kids with a man who's too nice. And they can't wait to get away from him. You never hear about that. It's always the women who are with a man who cheats and abuses and all that. She had 3 babies by him, and be only one of the baby mamas, right? Like it just is what it is. A happy woman is a miserable woman, and a miserable woman is a happy woman. Because me and my girl, we fell out right about 2 weeks ago, and she's telling me, oh, and we when we started talking again, she goes like, oh, I just felt so bad about it, blah blah blah. And I said, and I told her this same theory. I said, yeah, a happy woman is a miserable woman. Why did you even put that much thought into it? Right? Because you're miserable. Because she was miserable. That's why she put that much thought into it. That's how you keep the woman. She has to be mad at you, right? Like a part of her has to be mad at you, and a little bit have. Hey, okay, if she's not talking, like, there's a certain type of bad she has to talk about you to her friends and family, right? That's how you know she is like in love with you. When a woman is like talking bad about a man. That's how you know she's in love with that man. Right? That's how you know. It doesn't work. It don't work that Disney bullshit of the woman realizing this man. Okay, unless you are a prince, right? Unless you're a prince, literally speaking, unless you're a prince, that shit don't work. Right? That shit ain't gonna work. If you're rich, if you're just a rich guy, you still have a high opportunity for failure. Being nice. But if you're a prince, right, then it fuck around and work. Right? If you got like the family lineage and all that shit like that, backing up your wealth, then that can work. Like the Meghan Markle shit, like it can work, right? It can work, right? But unless you got that family lineage, right? Because again, dude, a woman's whole thing is okay. So it goes into like this kind of racial debate theory, right? The theory like why black men like thicker women and why white men tend to like skinnier women, right? Like it's that theory of like in the black communities, the black communities are usually more poor, so they need a woman who looks like she can, be more healthier like during and after childbirth to like breastfeed the kids and all that shit like that, right? Whereas like in the white communities where they would be rich, in the richer white communities, they preferred the skinnier women because they knew they can just feed the woman whatever she wanted. Right, so they weren't so in the richer white communities they weren't on the thicker women as much, right? It's that theory. So like that theory is a similar theory to like when women will accept nice, because a woman's ultimate pursuit is just to find protection in the world. That's the whole reason why she's putting on makeup and making sure she wore these shoes with these pants and this pants with that shirt and that shirt with those earrings. The whole reason why she's doing it is because she's selling herself, scouting for the best quality protector that she can get. Right? That's it. Right? And the whole reason why any man, you watching this right now, the whole reason why you pick that haircut over that haircut, those shoes over those shoes, is because you trying to look as good as you can to go get some pussy. Right? That's what it is, right? So with the woman's perspective, like once that guy has that family lineage of money, see now he can go out there and be a nice guy, right? Because he can just because if she uses up all his money, he can just go run back to mommy and daddy, right? Or mommy and daddy's mommy and daddy. Or possibly mommy and daddy's mommy and daddy's mommy and dad, depending on how young they are, right? See, she knows she can do that. So now she'll just deal with nice because she figures it's what you want to do, right? So in that scenario, but if you're just rich, well, you ain't got that back end, and and as far as playing nice guy, you're still in there with like the regular schmoes and success rates and being nice, right? Elon Musk can't walk around and just be nice, right? His family got money, but Elon Musk money is like his new money, right? Like from what I remember, his family wasn't that rich, like Bill Gates. Like They come from they don't come from a poor background, but that millions and billions, that shit came now, right? So like Bill Gates can't even get away with it. In my opinion, Bill Gates will have a hard time playing nice guy. Elon Musk will have a hard time playing nice guy. Like he's gonna have this sprinkling asshole in there because that's not. Now Prince Harry, he could walk around and be nice guy, right? And bitches will line up because he got that family lineage of money, aka protection, right? So that's what women are, look. They'll throw themselves at that, right, and just deal with him being nice, so they can get that protection. Man, again, like I think a hard thing for men to remember is see the fact that we want something, that doesn't mean that women want the same thing we want, right? Like what we're after is okay. Initially, what we're after is a friend and all that shit, like a friend and a fuck buddy, maybe a little bit of mommy and all that shit, right? Initially, so we have to grow out that, right? And a woman pretty much from the start is either seeking social status, which social status translates into protection, but she's seeking protection, right? Whereas a man is trying to find, a man is seeking this friendship shit, right? And he and that's very few men. If men do get lucky and find it, how long it lasts, that's a different debate, but it can happen. It can happen. What's up, Mo? Let me read. Let me go. I seen you send me a message. Let me read. Let me find. Oh shit! I'm not even typing it. I'm gonna subscribe star right now. Where we at? I don't want to check my. Oh. Here it is. October 4th. I don't know why it's every time. Okay. You should go over how many marriages, relationships are sexless. That's rough, man. Especially like if a relationship is sexless on the man, like if the man's not getting sex, right? Like that's when it's rough. Now, if the man just gets tired of the woman, it's all good. But by the time a relationship hits sexless points where the woman is just not having sex and she just doesn't have a sex drive, and like if the woman legitimately just doesn't have a sex drive for some medical reason or something like that, then that's acceptable. But like by the time a woman is like rejecting sex at that point, there's been some missteps, for to say the least. It says, I realized this when I was asking my friends that were in a relationship about frequency of sex. They are not married, but they have sex once or twice a month. Also, the guy is managing the woman's emotions on a daily basis. When the woman is on their period, the guy has to be extra careful what he says and says. Jesus Christ. Jesus. A lot of guys do not realize the energy and time it takes to manage a girl. They believe they are losers since they do not have a relationship, but they are oblivious to the peace and quiet that they have in their lives. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. This is something, to be 100% honest with you, I guess at some point I've had to at some point I've had to watch what I say just because I just didn't want any problems kind of thing. But wow, like I've never okay. The only time I've ever slept on, I didn't, okay, the only time when something happened where, like, I've heard stories of guys having to go sleep on the couch or something like that, right? Um, the only time where I got out the bed to go sleep in another room was when Kratos' mom was pregnant. And because she was snoring real bad when she got pregnant. And in situations like that, or a situation where like I had to get up in the morning. I had to, for some reason I had to get up, and the baby was like, he was up all night, all that shit like that. Like I would go in the other room for that. But like I would never. Okay, I have never slept in another room because she was like, I'll just lay in the bed mad and go to sleep in the bed mad. Like I'm just not getting out. I'm not getting out the bed. That's just so. Like honestly, I really can't speak on this because I've never gotten to this level of issues in a relationship, like a sexless relationship. I've never gotten to that. Okay, if a relationship is sexless, it's because I didn't want to have sex. Because my sex drive slowed down after the baby was born. Well, honestly, before that, I just didn't really want to have sex. So like, I was like, I'm on the end of being the ones like, nah, I don't know, I don't want to have sex kind of thing, right? I've never been in from what I can. If I was, it was a really small time where like I wanted to have sex and like the woman just like did not want to have sex with me type of thing, and it was like a chronic thing. Like I said, maybe she had to go somewhere, maybe she was like just tired or something like that. But we like it caught back on later. But like I've never like I've never existed in a relationship where I had to continuously live in that. I've never. Honestly, I think by the time it's gotten to that point where the guy's sitting there, okay, the woman doesn't want to tell you, but is as a man, it's up to you to understand when it's time to just have your own life. Just go off and see. It's up to you as a man to have that in you, that awareness, right? When you're paying her too much attention, that awareness, and when you're just when you're kind of lingering, right? And I said this in a video a long time ago. I think men have to learn these things because again, I think the big issue comes in is in that growth and becoming mentally like ready and grown, right? When we go out to the dating market, our thing is we want a woman to be our friend that we can talk to, we can like share all our emotions with, and she becomes our confidant and all that shit like that, and all that 90s R&B bullshit. That's why they was on there singing and shit on the radio, because they done fucked up too, right? Like, and that's the totally wrong thing to do, man. A woman can want that out of you, but you don't do that very much. If you don't do it, you don't put all your eggs in one basket with a woman. A woman could put all her eggs in one basket with you, but you don't do that with her. Because she biologically is not ready to handle that, right? Because once you do that, okay, whoever's putting all their eggs in that one basket, they're the follower, right? Whoever is the one putting all their eggs in the basket, that's the follower. And no woman wants to be a leader. None of them. None of them. So I think what happens is, okay, like for example, the old friend of mine told you about when I was early rambling about if she approached a guy versus if a guy approached her, like that same way, like, oh my God, you're beautiful. She said because she's a single mother. And I know her daughter, she's cool and all that. I've known her for years. And to this day, she's still waiting on her baby's father to come back to Czech Republic, right? She's still waiting on him. She's in a relationship with another dude, and there's a whole bunch of other side shit I won't even get into because it's honestly just unbelievable. But she said when she first got with him, she thought that he would be, how we say an alpha male. She thought he would be strong and he would have his own will and all that because he was in the military, right? And she found out that not long after that she was going to have to make him do something, and that because how she explained it was, she explained it that there is that so many relationships between men and women, you would think the man was leading and the woman was following, but in reality, the woman is the brain and the man is just the neck. That's how she explained it. And and I finished it off as like, yeah, and it's disgusting. Like no woman wants to be the leader of every woman wants to be the follower. Like every woman wants that. There's not one woman on earth who does not want that. Every woman is the happiest when she's at best in second place. Every woman. Right. Now, maybe like in little quick spurts, she likes to feel like she's in first, like when she goes out, gets her nails done or gets recognized for being pretty at a party or, take her out on her birthday. She likes to be in first place, like, maybe in little spurts, but not for, chronic day in, day out. She wants to follow a man into some shit. Right. She doesn't. And yeah, and I was speaking with her saying, he didn't know how to, like, a lot of guys don't get that independent thought, right? Because I think a lot of guys are so, because here's the thing, what men call respect and what women call respect, I think that's another area that's difficult to translate to both sexes, because people just don't talk very often, right? Especially both sexes, because everybody's afraid of offending everybody and all that bullshit. But what men call respect, women think is pathetic, right? Respect is, like saying please, thank you, making sure, like if anybody's watching as a guy, like respect would be me coming to your flat with, with some food and some beer, and we sit down and laugh, and we make sure everything's equal. If anything, we giving somebody else more. Like we see that as respectful, right? Among other men, that's admirable, that's respectable. That man is respected. If I go back to Chescalipa, motherfuckers gonna want to go out and buy me a beer somewhere, because that's how I walk around with other men, right? Right. But you walk around with other now women will respect that after they see me in good with other men. Then they fuck around and say, oh, he must be decent in some kind of way because social status again, right? But now go out there and do that with women. You go out there with a woman and all that, like, you still, like, it's gonna be iffy depending on your swaggering game, but it's safe to say she's gonna take you as a chump, right? It's safe to say you're gonna be a chump. Your swagger has to be right while you do it, right? Women don't see that as respectful, because the reason is because a woman can always get that, right? Any woman can hop on Tinder and be fed for the week, right? Just with dangling and all she has to do is just exist, smile, and eat some food, and she'll get free food all week, probably from the same guy, right? She gets that all the time, right? So there's unless your swagger is right, like she's not gonna cherish, she's not gonna value you, she's not gonna value respect, because she gets it all the time, whenever she wants it. What's up, King? What's up, man? I bet y'all meant to write you a long time ago, man. I'm busy with the baby and I'm still a little sick and just life going on in general. But yeah, I see your channel blew up, man. I see you had like live streams that was like 2,000 viewers or some shit like that. That was crazy shit. I hope everything's working out for you. So always put yourself first, respect, but then again, you have to be emotionally available. Report. Okay, no, Abo, that emotionally available shit. Okay, when women say emotionally available, they don't mean it how you think they mean it. Right? It's almost goes into the same category as it goes into the same category as having an interesting conversation. Right? See, what you think is an interesting conversation means we both actually chime in with intellectual thought, and we continue with growth throughout the conversation, and we explore new paths of thinking and perspectives that we didn't realize, and we interject and we involve each other in the conversation. And what do you think about it? What do I think about it? Well, I think, and then we go off into other interesting topics. See, that's what we call interesting conversations, right? Women don't. Okay, what a woman means by if you're giving her interesting conversation is, can you keep talking, and can she figure if she likes you or not by your cadence of speech? Because she's not, because she doesn't. The woman has very little interesting to say outside of Kim Kardashian and whatever other hussy is walking around, right? Like Brittany Renner, whoever the fuck, right? She doesn't know anything interesting. Very few women. There are some. Don't get me wrong. There's some in universities or some women who can be genuinely interesting without formal education, but it doesn't happen very often. Most of the times when women say they want a good conversation, they want to be told, okay, they want to be spoken to, but they don't want to hear the same thing twice. Right? Now, you can theoretically say the same thing twice, but just say it in a different way. Right? Like eggs and toast. Right? Think of eggs and toast. If you go in there and eat eggs and bread, right, for breakfast 5 days a week, you be like, oh, I'm tired of eating eggs and toast. So, but guess what? You can just make French toast. It's still eggs and toast, but you just made it differently, right? So it has a different taste to it, right? It's it's the same shit, but it's a whole different, texture and all that. You can just prepare it in a different way, or you can make, I forget what they call it, how you can dip the toast in the egg, and you can make completely different, formulas from just two ingredients, right? Well, minus the salt and all that shit like that. But you see what I'm saying? See, women are the same thing. Like, there's not very much intelligence pumping in most of them. They just want to see that creativity to, like, not hear the same thing twice. The only time they can manage the same thing twice is if it's something like negative. Like something like negative in the sense of like not including them. That's the only time they can manage it. Outside of that, no. Like just saying good morning, good night, hey, how's your day, and all that shit like that. That's boring, dude. AD, would you say all men in a relationship with a single mom are cucked? Well, as you get older, no, because it's just gonna get harder to find women without children. Like especially when you start hitting like 40 and up, it's just gonna be harder to find women without children in those ages. But I would say any young. Okay, if you're under the age of 30, absolutely yes. If you're under the age of 30, absolutely. Over 30 is things start to change. 30 and up as a man, things I would say 30, 35. In that I say 30 to 35, it starts to change. But if you're under 30, absolutely. Yes, you're being cucked. Yeah. You are the provider. The whole reason she dealt with you is because she's looking for a provider. She's looking for help. Because she doesn't want to do it alone. Right? And she doesn't want to do it alone. And this is one thing I've always said too, is women do not ask the man they really like for money. Right? And my girl, she still tells me that. Like she remembers that, and I've told her that. She brings it up to me every now and then. She's like, yeah, I remember when you told me that, and I really thought about it. Like, if a woman really likes you, she's not gonna ask you for money. Because she knows how much of a burden that is. Look, here's another thing. See, when it comes to money, women like to act like they don't keep track of money because they're dumb, because it's a known thing that women are bad with numbers, which they are. But women keep track of they keep track of money, but they don't keep track of money, right? So, for example, any woman chasing after 50 Cent is okay. She's not asking 50 Cent for money. Right. Most women, I would guarantee that at least a majority of them will not go to 50 Cent and ask him for money. Right. Now they're gonna go get from these dudes that are beneath them. Okay, see what a smart woman would do. Most women, what a smart woman as woman is gonna do is let's just say I don't know, Lauren. Lauren is gonna go find, some okay dude, all right dude. She's gonna get fed by him. He's gonna buy her dresses, buy her shoes, pay her bills, and all that. And she's gonna use that money that she got from, let's say, Daryl. She's gonna use that to look more appealing to 50. To look like she has her shit together. She's an entrepreneur and all that shit like that. See, that's a big. Whenever you hear women say they're entrepreneurs, that's how it's working. They're taking that money from, Daryl, John, Damon, whoever is the guy who she thinks is beneath her, she's gonna take that money from them, right? She's taking that money and that lifestyle from them, try to build her life up to look more appealing to 50 and all them other mother. Okay, I don't mean to use this to make fun of motherfucker, but she's gonna take money from Lloyd Banks to look better for 50. Right? That's how it works. That's how it's gonna work. She's a woman who respects you is never gonna ask you for money. She's never gonna do it because again, women they know how they know how much of a burden that is. They know how much of a problem that they are, and every woman knows when she's being a problem and when she's not being a problem for the man she really wants. Right? If she really wants that man, she's gonna learn how to start talking real life. She look all them stereotypes of what women are to be desirable to men. She's gonna magically figure out all that shit for that man she wants. She's gonna learn how to get her hair done, talk lighter, be submissive, bring him food. Oh, she'll do it for that man that she wants. Right? If she's not doing that for you, she don't want you. Now I'm not saying she has to do it all like 100% up front because I get it. Like people have to they got to feel each other's vibes out and all that shit like that. But one big thing I have is cooking. One big gripe, is that the right way to use it? Gripe. I was with my son at the park this morning, right? Actually, I took him on the tram. This is the first time I took him out without the baby stroller, like that far. And he just walked like the whole way. He's like he's almost 1.5 now. He's like one and like, I don't know, like 3 months. He was born in June. So it's June, 1 and 4 months, going on 1 and 4 months. This was the first time I walked that far with him, like walked around, like a decent, we traveled a bit further. That was like the first time without the pram, without the baby stroller. And I was at the park, right? Hang on, I'm trying to load this video up. Oh, I didn't mean to play it.
So in order to...
And I see, now, and this is me just being picky. I'll admit, this is me being just a bit petty. Because anything could have happened, right? But this is just something that I have, right? Things that I can't get over with women is dirty shoes.
So in order to...
women who wear dirty shoes, that just annoys the fuck out of me. And women who don't know how to cook, right? And what got to me was I was with my son at the park and I seen this girl who I always see her in the neighborhood. She ordered some like Uber Eats, right? And that just I was like, ugh. Like, anything could have happened. She could have, had a hangover and didn't feel like going out, whatever. I get it. But, like, I just, like, to me, like, that's just a major turn off to me is a woman eating, especially, like, fast food. Like, I just find that as just a turn off. Now that I'm getting older. Like, again, I get, like, anything could happen. Maybe she was at work or whatever the fuck. But even then, like, if I get the feeling that she doesn't know how to cook, my mind immediately goes to, okay, she must be awful to have to live with in terms of survival, right? Because she's going to just blow money for no reason. Shit like that. And again, and it's not 100% accurate because again, she could have been, she could have had a hangover, whatever, just not felt like going out, whatever. But like, that is just a big turn off. Like seeing a woman eat fast food, that's just a turn off for me. Complete turn off. I don't care how pretty she is, any of that. I'm just immediately like, oh, just oof. There's just nothing attractive about that. It would just that would take her down. Like if I get the feeling that I'm gonna have to cook because she doesn't know how, that's where I'm like, oof, like no. I mean, she can still be cool to talk to in passing, but like I would absolutely never. Well, I dumped a woman a long time ago because of that. Well, I just ghosted her. She told me she wasn't gonna cook for me, and I just never wrote her back. When you roast Charlotte Maine for saying a man paying a woman's debt. Oh yeah, Java, yeah, that is not, yeah, paying off a woman's student loans. That I mean, do whatever you do. I just would highly advise against doing that because that's the whole reason she got with you. With Charlemagne, that was the whole reason why she got with him. Now her and her girlfriends know that he doesn't. Now she probably flipped it and sold it to him like, oh yeah, I got these student loans, that type of shit. But her and her girlfriends, they talked that shit through. They knew. They knew they was gonna get him. Look, if you hear how women talk about you behind closed doors as men, look, this red pill shit is nothing. Even the most brutal red pill motherfucker is nothing compared to how women deal and manage men in their life. No, it's something like student loans. No, don't pay that shit off. That's the whole reason why she got with you in the first place. Matter of fact, I was watching Chad Ochocinco talk because he came out as being like as a real money saver, right? He saved like most of his money. You can Google it on YouTube. He saved. I tell you what, just to show you, I got real into listening to him speak. Ocho Cinco. And he was just saying like all his like he's a real respectable guy, man. Yeah, I would recommend watching that video. Can you see that? Yeah, where he says he saved 83% of his salary. Right? Listen to him speak about that shit. That's a real motherfucker right there. Right? And I thought he was a joke when he was playing football because they just sold him like that. They sold him as a good football player who was essentially a joke, right? But he listen, if he's telling the truth, which I believe him, I believe him.
So in order to
he was some real shit. But yeah, no, where I was going with that was in one interview he was talking about he was saying that he was stating the reality of dating, right? And he said, look, because of my position, either women ain't gonna fuck with me because I am who I am, or they're gonna fuck with me because they Googled how much I earn. Right? So he already knew what it was. So he said on the first dates, he took all his first dates to McDonald's. He said, why? I got the money, you don't, so you better come act, you gotta act right for me. And that's real shit. Like, I agree with him. He was all the way right on that. He was all the way right. He said, I got the money, not you. Why I got to spend money on you? You the one trying to get with me. I'm not trying to get with, I'm trying to get with you, but you ain't that important. Like, but yeah. But paying off a woman still, let me tell you something. I've heard that story in all different types of communities too. Not just like a Charlemagne, like more regular motherfuckers, like average Joe going out to work 9 to 5, shit like that. Like that shit happens, and I'm telling you, dude, every time. Do not never in your life with shit like with motherfuckers paying off the woman's student loans and all that shit. See, never in your life entertain for a second that woman got with you and just magically happened to get you to pay off her debt. Never, ever, never, absolutely never, ever fall for that. Oh, well, she was just kind of cool. We were just hanging out and yeah, I love her and all that. Let me tell you something. That woman plotted that shit out you remember in training day? It's like, you been playing this all week? No, I've been playing it all month, motherfucker. No, he said, he said, you been playing it all day? I've been playing it all week. That's what happened to Charlemagne. I bet he's not going to admit it. Any man who's done it, they're not going to admit it because it hurts too bad. I know it hurts to feel like you got. Let me tell you, that hoe got you. She got you. All right. That shit don't magically randomly happen. And she'll go, oh, I know, I'll pay my own debt off. And she'll say anything to you, dude. Let me tell you, when she goes to her fucking friends, they've already talked that shit out and they marked you as the target. My girl, she just tried to pull that on me and I checked her on it hard, right? I'm not going to put her business out on the street like that, but she just tried that shit on me. Look, this is what they do, man. They sit around with their friends and plot out the men and who they can get to do what. And then when they come back around to you, they're going to try to act like, oh, it was just an accident. But you can't do that. And then they try to flip it to emotions and all that. Been there, done that, dude. It's not going to work on me. Not legally. It's not going to work. Now she can fuck around and steal something, what I don't know is, being stolen, but I'm not going, no. He said, if you paid off a woman's student loans, if you paid her rent, if you ever paid her phone bill, let me tell you something. This is gonna hurt. But she told, look, her friends know you by first name. Okay. They have a nickname for you. Probably some pair of pants you like to wear, or some shit like that. And she knew that, and they knew she was gonna get that money out of you. Right? Now here's another kicker to, let's say, like Charlemagne, right? And he I swear he'll try to fight this and oh, yeah, but he knows it's true. I already know what's coming next. Guess what came next? He's supposed to pay for her girlfriends for a vacation. I bet you, I know it. That's a fucking fact. Them, at least 2 of them girls try to get in. They tried to get accidentally invited to a trip somewhere because they tried to pay, but their card didn't work. And let's get Charlemagne. I already know. That's how it works. I already know, dude. I already fucking know. Right? I already know. He probably already paid for it, too. Probably already happened. So, that's how it works. Don't ever pay off a woman's student loans. Don't ever pay a woman's rent or anything like that, first off. I'll tell you that much right now. Never pay a woman's rent. You could buy a hooker, a reasonably priced hooker, not no hundreds of dollars hooker, but you know what I mean, like come to Europe and get you a good solid. And I only say solid because solid is underselling it, to be honest, but just you get a hooker anywhere in Europe for $100, and she be like music video quality type shit, right? Well, white music video quality, right? Not like bootylicious shit, but you mean like you say European beauty shit, right? But you start paying off a woman's rent, they clocked you. They got you. I'm telling you, man, that's how it's going to work. But yeah, let me start this video because I've been talking too goddamn much.
To flip the script, change the narrative, how about you guys start paying for all the dates, and then you can call the guy whatever you want to call him. You can call us prostitutes. How many of you guys are willing to do that?
But we don't want dick that bad. He wants pussy that bad. I can
So,
get
like,
myself
why
complain about it than he ever could.
You hear that,
Why
McQueen?
in the hell would I? Yeah.
Did you hear what she said?
She said, I.
Okay, no. Now, okay, real quick. So what just happened? He said, how come women just pay for all the dates and they call men prostitutes? So here's the thing. The reason why that will never work is because to be a woman is simply to be prostitute, right? Like she has to do it at some point. It's just her biology. She can't help it. She can't help it. Here's the thing. Even if that were to happen, let's say his theory was to happen. Let's say if by some magical, stroke of luck, women decided to just pay men for sex and call and look down. Let's say all the feminists got their way, right? And they did whatever mind game they did to say, yeah, now we look down at men because men are our prostitutes and we pay them for sex, right? Okay, see, listen. The reason why that would not work is because it's in woman's nature to want to feel pampered, to want to feel taken care of, right? So even if it is switched to that, the second any man would come to her and say, here, I want to give you something, she would have to take it. Like it's not in her control, right? It's not in her control to be equal or decent. She can't. Right? She can fake it for a little while, but she can't do it's her biology. She is prostitute. Right?
I want pussy that bad. She's not lying. I do like
So
pussy.
you can't complain
And you get
about
prime
it.
pussy or you get easy pussy. And now there's levels to this in every game. It's
And
just like
pussy.
business in
What
general.
just to be clear, what are you?
Prime.
You're prime?
Top notch.
What makes you prime, top notch, Poo-Tang?
I mean, I have everything that you could possibly ask for as far as brains, beauty, ambition. I would build my man up to be everything he wants to be in this world. I'm the best investment he would ever make in his life. And my shit's exclusive. I've invested in my body. I have a $150,000 body. No one barely touches me. Yes,
150. She spent 150,000 on that. And her tits start like right here. I'm roasting her. She spent 150,000. That's the sad part about being a woman, man. That's a sad. It's like I think, what was that motherfucker's name? Not Duchovny. It was I know him. I can't think it. I see his face. This is a side note. So when I can't remember the actor's name. I see his face, but I can't remember. He's an older guy now. But he said he was doing a movie where he had to dress up as a woman. And they put the makeup on him and they put the wig on him and and the dress, and he looks at himself. And then so he goes, "Oh, nice." So he looks back at the stylist. He goes, "Now make me a beautiful woman." And the stylist said, "No, this is as good as it gets." And he said that that was that was when he realized, like, women are just stuck with, a lot of times they're just stuck with whatever they have, right? There's only so much you can do before that's just the max of it, right? So he felt bad about judging women, before that, because they weren't pretty and all that shit like that, right? So, so the thing is, like, she spent $150,000 to have her tits start at her fucking 12th rib, and as she spent $150,000. Now, I mean, to look like that, you get your money back. That's rough. I mean, you could put the spray on tan and, spray on tan, throw on 50 pounds of makeup, but you spent $150,000 on that. Look, there's a bitch working at Starbucks right now that would blow her out the water. Put her in a spray on tan and have her showing her tits. And bitches at Starbucks are not. See, that's the part where women are confused too, because like they want to. Because see, as a man, you can just buy $150,000 car, right? And a woman who's like, relatively speaking, out of your league will now be in your league because you have that car, right? We're on the other side. See, like, a woman cannot buy something and go up in league, right? like I mean, like Oprah Winfrey is still Oprah Winfrey. She's still an Oprah Winfrey type bitch. I mean, like, she didn't go up in sexiness. Like, Oprah Winfrey is still an Oprah Winfrey level bitch. I don't think she's bad looking. I think Oprah Winfrey actually looks, she's more on the line of attractive to me. Like, I've always liked Oprah for what she was in her own look, right? I've always liked it. But money, like, she can't buy her way. Some can get the plastic surgery and boost up. It's like makeup. Some can, but not all of them. The majority of them can. The majority of them just end up looking like clowns because, like, their leg to hip ratio is just off, and their hip to waist ratio is just off, and it's just never gonna be right because their shoulders are too broad or something like that. So, like, a woman cannot just buy $150 X, whatever it is, right, and go up in value, right? Whereas a man can go out there and buy $150,000 car, $150,000 ring, $150,000 pants, whatever, right? As long as you can see it, right? A man can do that and pull any one of these bitches at. You have this option, but either these bitches or bitches who look like that, right? Where on the flip side, she can't go out and put $150,000 into whatever she did with her body and go out and compete with the other two bitches. Like, for real. Unless the guy just had a thing for her, she can't do the same thing, right? But yeah, that she spent $150,000 on that. I think she's bullshitting. I think she's lying. Pretty certain about it. But yeah, no. She's off.
On Instagram because I'm paid to do that, but nobody touches me unless a man, yes, does take care of me. I like bosses. I like millionaires. I like someone who's going to mentor me, teach me, and invest in me and get me to my highest level as well.
And just to be clear, what's a $150,000 body?
4 BBLs, 2 breast technically 5 BBLs, but we're going to go with 4. 2 breast augmentations, obviously Botox, lip injections, and then I had the fat buckle removed out of my cheeks on my face.
Wow. And how young are you?
28.
28. And what age do you want to get married?
I don't necessarily have a time restraint on myself. I feel like God's gonna, make me cross paths with my future husband when that time is right.
So you're comfortable?
I probably have about another 10 million in real estate that I need to develop before that. so that I can reach the caliber of man that I want to be my future husband.
Got it. And how convinced are you that a man is attracted to a girl with ambition, brains, $10 million in real estate, or just being nice and sweet? What do you think a man is most interested in, especially the man that you're looking for who's worth millions of dollars? Does he want an ambitious boss babe or a nice, compliant, beautiful girl that doesn't give him headaches? What do you think most men like that would prefer?
I'm not looking for what most men or most
Well, you
women
should
are
be, because you
looking
want
like.
that kind of guy, so you should be.
What do you mean? I'm looking
So
for
I'm
like
asking-
that 1 in a million where you're looking at like Grant and Elaine Cardone. You're looking at
Okay.
like, you know, power couples, Jay-Z, Beyonce. Those people are building an empire together and they're equally
So
contributing.
But Beyonce is Beyonce though. Beyonce, look, Beyonce did okay. Beyonce is Beyonce. Beyonce was an attractive woman. Ooh, well, she had to put on makeup, but she was Beyonce was an attractive woman to start out with. She's not. First off, I want to say I'm proud of the guy. Where we at? 240. Him. Yo, the fact that he could sit there and do this and play that game he's a better man than me. The fact that he can sit there and do that and have to word shit without like, you know, just saying like, you dumb fucking bitch. Like, okay, like, because I would just get too tired. First off, I'd have to be drunk to even sit down like that and have to conduct a conversation with, you know what I'm saying, with some shit like that. I'd have to be drinking. You would have to bring me some type of liquor to do it. You have to pay me in liquor. So first off, I'm proud of King Rich. If you watching, I seen you was talking to some bit. Look, I'm proud of you, man. You are better than me. You're better than me. I can't to seriously sit down with like a typical woman like this and talk about this type of shit, right? Like you're better than me. I couldn't do it. Maybe once a month, some shit like that.
But let's play in reality right now. You're not going to marry Jay-Z or Grant Cardone for the sake of this conversation. You're going to marry some successful
my own.
guy.
I'm going to have
exactly,
my own.
Exactly. So that guy, how much is he worth?
Close
Make
to
up a number.
100 million.
Okay, so that guy that's worth $100 million,
Yes.
go with me here now,
Yes.
Kay. Does he want a boss babe who's trying to sell real estate, or a nice, lovely, compliant girl who's willing to get on his schedule? What do you think that guy wants? Think about it.
Well, I only date men that are at that high
No,
caliber.
I'm asking
So,
what you think. I don't care what you think. I want to know
I think they want me.
what he
They're
thinks.
constantly pursuing me. What do you mean?
Why aren't you married to one yet, though?
Because I don't want to be married to one yet.
I thought you just
I've been
said you-
building my own business.
But I thought
I've
you-
been proposed to twice and turned it down. It wasn't the
You
right
turned
one.
down a guy worth...
Okay, where we at? 326. So the reason why I want to show the difference between. Let me see if I can find this guy. Yeah, this is the guy. This is some wild shit, man. Now, he's going to be seen. This guy's going to be seen as a creep because he's a man doing essentially the same shit in the world.
So
The
in
reason
order-
why she's not going to be seen as a creep is because she's a woman. Women get away with social. See, when it comes to social interactions and when it comes to social settings, women get away with so much more just because they're just a woman. And the more attractive she is, the better she's going to do with it, right? Now, that woman is
I've been asking to speak to you.
That woman is the equivalent of this man, right? That woman that we just seen is this man's equivalent.
Now for 2 years to talk to you, to tell you that I'm also a super genius like yourself. I'm just saying serious, this is to all benefit of Tesla shareholders in the world. I am a capitalist like yourself. I am also a level 2 stage. I've been waiting for 10 years now for someone to give me a second look, a full second look. And if they did, they would see a very advanced mind in front of them. So I'm asking you today, can you give me a second look?
Okay. I mean,
I would like to come on board as vice chairman of Tesla.
we don't really have a vice chairman spot, but I have to say, no, I'm probably sorry.
I'm sorry. I can also apply for a future CEO position, but I would at least I would like to come on the board of directors. I apologize. Is it to the benefit of Tesla shareholders?
I think we need to move on to another question. My apologies.
I apologize. Thank you for your time.
All right.
I've been asking to speak to you now for
So, so with shit like this, right? If he's so great, then he should just go off and do his own thing and live his own life and deal with his own consequences. If he has such a great mind and he's so successful and great and blah blah da da da, a man or a woman, they should go off and live with their own choices and their own consequences. Don't try to like search out and beg and hope to get underneath somebody else, right? But see, here's the thing. See, as a man, that's just an automatic in life. To become a man, you have to go out there and just deal with your own consequences and all that and go do it. Whereas on the flip side, see, a woman,
So in order,
her biological position is to go find a man to go sit up under. Whatever she did, she belongs underneath a man, right? So she had, now, to be fair, she does have that part correct. Just from a woman's nature, like whatever she has to have better than her, right? Before she even respects it, right? It's just her thing. But again, she's not going to be seen as a creep because she's a woman. Whereas a man, he's immediately a weirdo creep guy who's like fucked up and all that. Because as a man, you're held accountable for your actions 100%. Right, so if you're walking around claiming you're great, you're amazing, whatever the fuck, then you don't need to go you don't need to go sit underneath somebody else. You need to go make your own life. Right, like when you live with your parents. If you so smart and great, to get the fuck out, go make your own life because you're so smart and great. It's that. But see, and that fits my other point. See, because women are eternally children. Right, they're biologically they have to be. Right? Because they can't protect themselves, especially right after childbirth. They can't protect themselves, right? She has to stay underneath someone, right? But in the terms of just pure action, they're the same thing. Her and the guys, it's the same shit. They think they're so fucking great. But at the same time, what they're idolizing doesn't want them. So it's like they're coming up with these excuses, at least from that video. They're coming up with these excuses as to why, they're so great, but they're not going to do anything on their own, blah, blah, blah.
What they have to say.
okay. So I'm asking you to put yourself, take off the I'm a hot girl, paid 150 grand, boss babe, priceless punani. Take that off.
Okay.
Give her your hat for a second, would you?
No,
Are you able to do that?
I don't have a haircut right
Okay,
now.
So put on the 100 million guy's hat. Are you ready to play this game?
Okay.
Don't answer like you're Kay. Answer like you're, give me a guy's name that you'd be willing to marry. A guy's name.
I'm sorry.
Think of a name. Think of a name. $100 million guy.
I don't know.
Let's call him Jay-Z. Let's call him Jay, because we're not talking of Jay-Z. Jay is worth $100 million. Okay, do you think about it, he cares how much money you make?
No.
You don't? Okay, let's stop there. Do you think he cares about your attitude?
To an extent, yeah.
To an extent.
Yeah.
He cares a lot about
Cares a lot about your attitude.
But I have a great attitude.
No, you
Okay.
Oh my God.
You're not worth $100 million, so your opinion doesn't matter.
Okay, so listen to me. You just said you
So
turned down
only a
the
person
$50
that's worth
million.
$100 million opinion matters?
As far as me being in an intimate relationship,
Okay.
yeah.
Let's put the hat back on.
Okay.
Jay. So what is Jay looking for? Again, remove yourself and your real estate ambitions from the equation. What is Jay looking for?
If this particular Jay wants a simple Sarah, there's no Sarahs here, right?
Yeah,
Sarah.
that's her right there.
I'm sorry, Sarah. I
You
love
just pissed off the wrong girl.
Simple Sam, whatever, okay? Then you can find a million of those. You can go to the club, you can go find a girl in college, or it's something so simple like that. You can find them, every 100 girls is the same person like that, simple. I'm 1 in a million as well. And $100 million man usually likes the extraordinary. I'm attracting the
Can
extraordinary.
I ask you something? Can I
Go
ask?
ahead, McQueen.
What do you think that a man in general, like you said, $100 million is a guy that is worth talking
McQueen, I don't even know why you're talking to her right now, bro. You're not even worth $100 million.
It's okay.
McQueen, you know what? Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Get the fuck out of here.
To go off the panel, McQueen, bye.
But listen. So what is it? What do you think that a man? You're saying it's worth $100 million because clearly that's the only man that's worthy of talking. So, what do you think that? Like, what are the top 3 things that you think that man values?
I think he values business.
From who?
And no, in general, his life. And,
Okay.
and he needs someone who understands that.
From you? Okay.
And a girl who is just simple and will comply, she's there for the money. A woman who has it on her own isn't there just for the money, because
Okay.
I
So
have my own.
what's the last 2 things besides the first one you just?
I would say family. They're looking for someone that they can procreate with, someone to take on their legacy.
Do you think that someone they
And
want
they
to
wanna
procreate
have-
with cares more about money than actually being a submissive, compliant woman?
I'm sorry, what was the
I'm
question?
saying, do you think that they want to procreate with someone who thinks like you as opposed to a compliant, submissive woman?
I would assume so, yes.
That's a fucking retarded ass outlook.
Okay, well, you shouldn't use the word retarded because there are people with
I mean,
disabilities
you really,
in the world.
I mean, you shouldn't say that, someone who's not worth $100 million shouldn't be worthy of talking, but, hey, you did. So it is what it is, But hey, like I said, you have your opinions, and, I'm just putting this out there that it's like, that's not what men value. They don't want like a aggressive, dominant woman that cares more about money and real estate and millions of dollars as opposed to being a respectful, loyal, compliant woman. They just don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to help you out because, you just turned down a nigga that's worth $50 million.
Yeah.
Acting like they just down the street. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Would you say that you're agreeable?
To
No, just in general. Would you say you're more agreeable or more disagreeable?
depends on the
In
topic.
general, like,
In topic.
so for instance, if you ask me, Adam, are you agreeable or disagreeable? I'm disagreeable as fuck.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
disruptive.
so you too.
I'm very deceptive. Yeah.
Okay, so you too. Why am I disagreeable? Because if I see some, I was like, yo, I don't like how the cameras are set up. Yo, can we move these chairs? Yo,
I'm not gonna move.
Get McQueen's ass in the middle right here.
Yeah.
The reason that I've killed it in sales and doing what I do is just because I don't go along with the flow.
Yep.
I do my thing. Now, here's my question to you. If that dude comes along, do you think he wants an agreeable woman or a non-agreeable, disagreeable woman? That dude with our $100 million.
What do you want?
I'm asking you.
I'm asking you.
Yeah, you better fucking agree. So if you like that clip, click right here to watch another, or if you want to watch the entire Saucecast, click right here.
Really honest. Knowing what I know now about who I married, I wouldn't have married him. Oh.
It was the best outcome it could possibly be.
I'm a very dominant woman. I own my business. I lead my teams. I played my own manager, my own publicist, my own lawyer when I didn't have money to have those people. So I make the decisions in my life. When I come home, I like the idea that my man leads. I want to submit to my man. Let me explain. Girls, it's tiring being the boss of me. It's tiring leading all the time in my life.
All the time. It's tired to be the boss all the time.
My mom has a very strong force, and she took over a lot of decisions in the household to the point that my dad, unless it was always going to be a fight, he was like, you know what? Go ahead. Whatever you want to decide, go ahead. And I'm just going to do me. And that causes a wedge. And I can have that tendency. I'm just saying, for me, I can have that tendency to follow like my mom because it's what I grew up in and I saw it.
Now we are going to read the most interesting comments of this video. It's very hard to grow up with a dominant mother and not be the same. It's very hard not to be that way. We need to really change if we don't want to be this way too. Just because she's submissive doesn't mean she'll submit to anyone. I can tell she has a dominant personality. I bet Jeezy realized that the submissive BS was just that, BS.
Yeah.
I like the idea that my man leads us. Keyword, idea. Wanting something and actively doing it are two different things. Jeezy just got fed up with Jenny and Mama Mai. Mama Mai spent more time in there.
Okay, here's the thing. I think the core issue with her and with many women, especially if she thinks she's a little cute. It's the same thing that's most, most women who think they're cute, they're going to suffer with. See, she's never been used to being told no, right? Like, especially when she was young and hot, like young and hot, she was never used to being told no. So what happens is with women, especially when they're, when they're coming up in life, is they think that they can do everything. And if they can't do everything, then they must have failed. Because again, there was nobody really there. Like they were never truly left out in the dark in anything, right? Somebody would always somebody was always fucking with her because she was fuckable, right? So there was never a point in her life, or any woman in her league, a woman of looks life. There was never a point in her life where she was completely left out in the dark, left out in the cold, to survive. There was never. She always knew there was 3 guys that would have picked up the pieces and paid for her shit, gave her. She always had that, right? And every woman in her position, all right, whether it's financially successful or not, they would have always had that, right? Right. So what that does is it creates this delusion in their head that they can do everything, right? It creates this severe delusion that she can do anything and everything, anything and everything. Right. That's how you end up with so many young single mothers who know they're going to be single mothers and they don't care, because if you tell her you better not do that, she thinks she can do everything and she's going to do it. If you tell her don't do it, right? She thinks she can be submissive and dominant. Look, if you have a woman, if you ever come across a woman who is dominant, saying that she'll be submissive for the right man, no. She'll pretend to be submissive as long as she can sell the bullshit, but everybody knows it's an act. All right, I'd say very few women can pull that off. Extremely few can genuinely pull that off successfully. Very few, a very few amount of women can genuinely pull off that and keep it going, for months and years. Right? Because it's going to run out. He's going to get to a point where you're going to have to pick one. Because it's going to be too exhausting. Right? Because here's the reality of what's going to happen is, see, she's claiming that I'm dominant, I do this and all of that, and I was submissive for my husband or whatever, whoever the fuck she was married. I guess she was married to Young Jeezy. I don't even know who this woman is, but that's besides the point. What's going to happen when you deal with a woman like that at home, right? There's going to start being misfire. She's going to come home and be dominant as fuck and lash out at you, and you're not going to know what's going on because she got to be dominant at her job, which is another reason why a lot of men don't want women with college degrees, because that usually that can put them in the administrative positions, which fucks up the home. Right? Because she's going to start misfire. Now, a man could come home and be dominant because he's, managing 40 people at work, and now he comes home and shit ain't done. He could come home and lash out, right? Because that still fits him being a leader. But she can't do that. See, now everything's going to start getting off balance, and people get confused. And all men, and like the last guy said, most men just want a submissive woman. So the guy's he's going to go out and find some younger, some submissive, maybe not even younger, just a submissive woman to sit with, right? Because that dominant shit is disgusting to sit at home with all the time, right? It's disgusting. I don't care how pretty she is, it's disgusting. So no, when you hear a woman say she's dominant, but she'll be submissive for the right man, that's code name is I'm a dominant bitch, but I can try to pretend to act like I'm submissive between the hours of 4 and 7 p.m. That's what that means, right? She tried to go back and work things out with Jeezy. Perhaps she don't have the option she thought she had. Oh no, 'cause she's gotten older. Yeah, like with her, 938, and with her, the older women get, the less they can keep getting away with, right? The older she gets, the less she's gonna get away with. Because the only thing that was getting her by was her youth and beauty. That was the only thing that got her, I guess, fucking with Jeezy. That was the only thing that got her. The majority of women you're gonna find who are even successful like that, the majority of them either they had family in the field, or her youth and beauty got her in there. That was it. It wasn't her mind and all that. She wants to think it was her mind and she's so intelligent and she's winning $1 million. No, bro. It was because your youth and beauty got you in with that group of people, and then they fucked with you after that, right? But then the sad part is, like, as they get older, they don't realize they're getting older, right? In many cases, they don't fully realize. So they think that that they're actually intelligent, they're actually interesting, and they should be desired even more now because they've aged and they have experience. When all in reality, all it does is make them more bitchy and hard to deal with, right?
That my dad, unless it was always going to be a fight, he was like, you know what? Go ahead. Whatever you want to decide, go ahead. And I'm just going to do me. And that causes a wedge. And I can have that tendency. I'm just saying, for me, I can have that tendency to follow like my mom because it's what I grew up in and I saw it.
Now we are going to read the most interesting comments of this video. It's very hard to grow up with a dominant mother and not be the same. It's very hard not to be that way. We need to really change if we don't want to be this way too. Just because she's submissive doesn't mean she'll submit to anyone. I can tell she has a dominant personality. I bet Jeezy realized that the submissive BS was just that, BS. I like the idea that my man leads us. Keyword, idea.
All right, watch.
To my mom, to my aunts,
That's the
to
girly
me,
end.
right? But I didn't notice it in myself until I was with Jeezy.
Interesting. You didn't notice in your previous marriage?
No, because it has to do with the type of relationship you have and the type of respect you have for that person to mirror things back to you where you actually would stop you in your tracks and evaluate yourself, you know?
So you had it.
So I
you
had
didn't
it, but
acknowledge it as a problem.
nobody ever called me out on it. Also in my
Yeah,
line
because
of work.
nobody called you out on it because you were young. Who was this woman? What's her name? Jeannie, something like that. I don't know who this woman is. It was young Jeezy's wife. Let's type in. Oh, she's 44. Yeah, nobody called her out on it because she was young. Again, that was why she was allowed to get away with that shit. It wasn't because she's fucking intelligent. Because she's so interesting to talk to. Because she's so fucking great. She was allowed to get away with acting like that because she was young. Old bitches don't get away with that shit anymore. You start getting checked. Hold on, who you talking to? They start checking. Oh, any man with dignity, he gonna start checking you. Yeah, nobody called you out on it. Now her parents probably her dad. Okay, I bet you her dad knew that's what it was. Her dad knew she was like that. They just not gonna call her out on it. They let her have her fun. Because her parents, they don't want to tell her the reality. Well, at least her dad don't want to tell her. Look, men don't like this shit. It's fucking gross and disgusting. Her dad probably cheating on her mom the whole time, but just stayed because of her. But he'll never tell her that, right? Because you don't want to tell your own kids some shit like that, right? She was allowed to get away. She was getting away with it because she was young. She's still not a bad looking woman now, but chances are she was better looking when she was younger. That's why she was allowed to get away acting like that.
Sometimes being a boss.
Now, is scenarios like this is what leads women to write books about self-awareness and all that shit. Oh my God, it's crazy how much you grow as an individual. Like, bitch, you grew because you got older and you aged and you couldn't get by on your youth and beauty. That literally sums up every woman's philosophical growths. It's because she got older and she finally hit the point of actually being called out and being potentially disposed of, because the man could just do better. She was used to being the number one in the room, the number one woman everybody would look at, or at least in the top 5. She was used to being the girl that if you had to pick between her and some other girls, there's a good chance she would make the cut and the other girls would get kicked out, right? she was used to that all her life. Just by how she looked, all her life. She was always in that league, especially in North America. She was always in that league of woman, right? But it's that thing that was it, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. She's gonna start aging, and see, it's not gonna get better. It's gonna get worse.
Isn't so
44 is 200 years.
Isn't so great for you because you have a lot of people who just agree to what you want. They're yes men, right? And so I didn't notice that I had a hot temper until I got with Jeezy. And here's a person who is my equal and I really respect.
No,
and
Jeezy's better
when
than
I would
you.
spew some
He's
of
not
my
your
old
equal.
habits.
He's better than you.
And he was like, like who? That's not flying here. And also, it would trigger him to come back at me with things where I was like, who the fuck do you think you are? But I was triggering him. So through work, we learned that we both have certain habits that...
This is all BS. She is clearly problematic. She now lives left mean, aggressive, and always and
a culinary professor and a private chef, 40 years old, Libra, no kids, in Houston, Texas. What kind of man are you looking for? Wait 7 seconds.
I'm looking for an educated man who is cultured, financially stable, mature, and someone who likes to travel. But someone who likes to travel and not Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic.
You like
right? Yeah,
London,
I've been
Paris.
very fortunate to been able to travel a lot, and I want a partner who would enjoy the same things.
Fair enough. All right, what are your deal breakers? Wait 7 seconds.
Deal breakers for me are small children, someone who smokes cigarettes, and closed-minded.
Okay. Does he have to make a certain amount of money? You did mention financially stable. So what does that mean to you? Wait 7 seconds.
For me, being financially stable would be that it's not necessarily like a monetary amount. I just don't want to date anyone who's average, meaning whatever you make.
Here, real quick. Well, she said she doesn't want to date anybody who's average. What average means to every woman is she doesn't want to date a man who's making what she's making. Right? At minimum. Every woman will fit that. When she's average, every woman is to herself, she is the average. Right? Right? She wants a man who's above her.
Annually should be above average or median based on where you're located.
Which is what she's more than likely in.
So can you give me a number example of
If you live
that?
in California, $100,000 isn't the same as if you live in Texas. So,
right.
Someone who makes above average based what career that they're in. I don't want to necessarily put a dollar amount on it, but someone above average for their profession.
Okay, so you want the guy to be in Houston, Texas. Okay, so what is the average
for
for
like an
Houston,
engineer
Texas?
or like it just like
I'm going off of your analogy. So give me the
to kind of
example
give you
of
an
average.
idea, like I would want to date a man who would be able to afford a house here that's $500,000 here in Texas. Yeah.
Okay. We gotta follow the 7-second rule too. They're asking me, are you above the cousin said, do you consider yourself above average? Wait 7 seconds.
Yes, I do definitely, absolutely. I am above average. There's nothing average about me.
This is bad. Cause she is a good looking girl. I'll give her that. She's a good looking. She said she was 40 or something like that. She's a good looking girl. I'll give her that. I'll give her that. Right. Here's the thing. And see, this is the part where women don't realize how alarming this looks in the dating market. Right. if a woman has to go on to online dating, if a woman has to leave, essentially, if she has to leave her social circle to try to find men who earn more money, what that immediately says is that she's in a social circle that does not earn that amount of money, and she doesn't know where this social circle is, because if she knew where it was, she would go there and get to talking around and meeting people like that, right? She doesn't know where these men are. She just doesn't know. Period. By the time this woman has gotten so, because she's a good looking woman, but I mean, there's plenty of good looking trash out there, right? And I'm not immediately gonna say she's trash because I don't know the woman personally, but I've been with some good looking trash before, right? By the time she's had to call in to a fucking YouTube show to essentially be auctioned off, but she only wants a certain higher caliber of man, right? What that immediately says is she doesn't know where these men are, because if she knew, she would go, or she's not welcome there because she's fucked up too bad, right? And and her lifestyle, her culture is not in that. Is a good, because again, if she was in that culture, if she was in that lifestyle, and if she was decent, oh, somebody's gonna pick her up. Somebody is going to pick her up. Or just, if nobody picks her up, she could just set Tinder to fucking 5 miles. If she lives in these areas of a $500,000 house, why don't she go on online dating and just set the distance to 5 or 10 miles and work from there? See, we have technology, right? Or if she's earning that much money, why don't she go to get together groups, go out to, meetings, or get involved in a community. She can get involved in a community, start running, working for, I don't know, like some women's group or some group, and, and if she is truly a part of that culture and she thinks she belongs there and she deserves it, there's no excuse as to why she's not already in it, unless she's that fucked up, right? Right? I mean, it's just basic statistics, it's basic math, right? Like there's no reason why she shouldn't already be. Okay, again, by the time she's had to call in on YouTube, you don't want her. You strictly use her as a pump and dump, and you throw that in the trash, right? You can have anomalies here or there. It can happen. Like, for example, like when COVID happened, that's the only time where I could vouch for online dating or something like this. Something like COVID, where like the world was locked down and you couldn't leave. Then I can vouch for that time period. But in all other time periods, no. I just, no. That woman this is severe mental illness. It looks good, but it's mental illness. Something is terribly wrong. Yeah, take off the makeup, of course. I agree with you, Javi. Yeah, take off the makeup. Yeah, it's the makeup and probably even a wig. I'll admit that. But whatever she dressed up in the video, she's not bad looking in the video when she dresses up. Relatively, she's wearing a t-shirt, but when she, relatively speaking, she, dresses up, you can expect a certain quality of look out of her. I'll give her that. But again, see, like the women, they're not thinking, or they're not expecting men to think. Because here's the thing, okay, what the girl I was talking about earlier today about, how if a guy were to approach her the same way, she could approach a man and gain success. I brought up to her because she was telling me about her baby's father and how her baby's father ended up being a child, right? And she doesn't want to raise a child. She just flat out tells me she didn't want to raise a child. And so I replied to her. I said something along the lines of, well, did you ever think that you're the child to me? And she got real quiet and said, no, I never even thought it. She never even thought about it like that, right? See, so here's the thing. Like, see, women, they see, this same woman will know how to judge you based off your education, your friends, the money you got, the amount of money your friends got, they own houses, what career. See, she'll judge you in that criteria, but she doesn't think the same thing about herself. She doesn't think the same thing about her. Well, will men think that, like, why aren't I in a good social group? Why did I? She doesn't even hold herself to that regard. But let me tell you what. If you showed up with let's say let's say a Porsche. If you showed up in a Porsche wearing a nice watch, oh, she's got you clocked as potential. Then on top of that, if she speaks to you and you speak educated accent, shit like that, oh, she's clocked you, right? But she doesn't expect to be clocked. That's why she's on here. That's why she's dumb enough to do this, because she doesn't expect to be clocked, right? She wants a man who owns a $500,000 house. Well, if she's so fucking great, why didn't the men with the $500,000 houses come to her before she had to go online to auction her pussy off to YouTube? If she's already okay, or like the first 16 minutes. So this girl, right? This girl right here. If this is real, which I think it is, if she's so great, if she has all this money, how come nobody in that community has already snatched her up? Because she's a 1 in a million woman. If this woman who supposedly spent $150,000 on her body, and she's raising assets by 10 million and all this shit, like, if she's doing so amazingly great, think about her home life. Where is she living? What city, county is she living in, right? If she's living in a $1 million community, then how come the men aren't fucking with her, right? When she stops to get a latte and hang out in Starbucks or whatever the fuck she's gonna do for recreation, how come no men there are talking to her? Wherever she's doing business, selling the houses or whatever, how come none of those men are fucking with her, right? There's a reason why she's still single. The easiest thing to sell is pussy. That's the easiest thing. The easiest thing on earth to sell is men will literally fly around the world just to go look at a different facial feature in a woman. Right? So how low must a woman have to go to where she has to go on YouTube and scream she's single? It's enough to make it go crazy.
There ain't nothing average about her. Now, they are telling me, was you once on a reality show, a chef cooking show? Wait 7 seconds.
Yes, which is a problem for dating, but yes, I have been on TV. I was on Gordon Ramsay's Next Level Chef. I was top 2 finalist. And so it's been a problem because people see me on TV and they think they know me. So it's been a problem with dating.
Okay. Do you care to share the qualities that make you above average? So, I mean, and the reason why you're obviously is because you said you want a man that's above average. So now people want to know, well, what qualities make you above average? Just curious. Wait 7 seconds.
What qualities make me above average? For one, I would say my mind and my mental is one. Way that I look at information, is above average. I was on TV. I was selected out of 50,000 people. So that alone makes me far from average. I've traveled for 30 countries. I guess I'm 40 with no kids. That might makes me, but definitely put me in some category.
Repeat that last part.
Having any children, I think that doesn't, as far as my age bracket and my demographic, my age and everything.
This is what I told my girl a while, not like a couple days ago. No, I didn't tell her. It was the girl. It was the girl I was talking to. There's a girl I was talking to. She told me how she can't have kids anymore because she has some medical condition where she hit menopause like really young, and her mom had it and never told her, so she can't have kids anymore. And we were talking, and this is what she told me. She told me that that she refuses to date men without kids because at some point she's going to want to give a man a child, right? So she wants a man to already have kids before she, fucks with him anymore, right? Which I can understand that from her perspective. Like, and the reason why I can understand is because a good friend of mine, his mom told me something that I never forgot, obviously, because I'm saying it now. And it's real weird because his mom is like, she's real nice, but she has a super red pill side to her that, like, you have to pick it out and catch her when you talk to her, kind of thing. And she kind of gives you that real look, like I'm not being like bullshit anymore, bullshit. I know reality look. She told me years ago. She says, I don't care how many kids a woman ever has. If she'll always have one more child for the man that she wants. Right? She told me that long time ago, easily over 10 years ago. This was easily over 10 years ago. And I never forgot that. The reason I bring that up is because the reality of dating is, especially as you start to age, children are a very important part, because without having a kid with that person, like, it's just like you're really just buddies. You're just good buddies at that point. Now I can speak about it because I have a son now. Now I can see it now, right? Before you have a kid together, like, you two are just buddies, right? But if you don't have a kid with that person, like there's a part of you that can't connect on a, because it's like now once you have a kid, now it's like, oh, like, I'm really kind of tied to this person, for real now. Even if we break up, like, I'm still connected to this person for life, right? Even if the child dies or something like that, like, I'm still, like, connected to that person, right? It's that thing. So if you don't have a child with that, like, especially with a woman, like there's no reason to keep her around. Like, as soon as she starts to get annoying or something like that, there's no reason to keep her around anymore, right? Because let's be real, the main reason why a lot of couples are together, I would say, with a divorce attorney, I put the video up, he said it, like, he said, out of 100 marriages, I think it's like 20%, like it's less than 20% are genuinely stay together because they're just in love. Like, I want to say like half of it was because they just couldn't afford to split up and live independently. The other like the half of it was they wanted to stay together because the kids, so they just dealt with it. And like, very small, out of all marriages, he said, like, that he's come across and dealt with, like, out of his experience, a very small percentage actually stayed together because it was just strictly like his love and her love type of thing that lasts, decades, right? It doesn't work like that. So with her 40 and she doesn't have kids, she's missed out on a huge she's missed out on a huge dose of reality, right? Of why you actually, like, why are you really staying with a guy, kind of thing, and all that shit like that. Do you just want a good buddy to sit up with, or do you mean, like, or do you want, like, a real partner? And the fact that she's 40, she's probably not gonna have any kids. There's no real reason to keep her around, right? There's no real reason, outside of your own desperation for a relationship. There's no reason to stay with her, right? Once you fucked her, you got tired of her pussy, she starts throwing a little attitude, that's gonna be it. You got nothing else for her outside of maybe social pressure to want to be seen with a woman, something like that. But, like, be honest, like okay, how many? Here's the thing. Out of all the men that's watching right now, right? Anybody who has kids, be 100% honest with yourself. If you didn't have kids with that woman, you would have dumped her a while back. Or your life would have been a whole lot easier without her. at some point. The reason why you keeping her is because you got a baby with her. Right? Right? That's what it is. It's the reality. Now, a woman, she'll always want to keep you because you're her last, you're her defense against the world. So she's always going to want to keep you. She'll just, lie or say, just act like she doesn't. But like she's benefiting more from it than you are. Right? Especially as you get older. She's benefiting more from that relationship and the reality of it than especially as she starts to age and those looks start to fade. She's benefiting far more than you are from that. But there's no reason to keep her around at 40. She's not going to have kids. She's done.
I think that makes me outside of a certain average category. But I mean, I'm educated. I'm well versed in a lot of different things. So I definitely think I'm above average. That average is bad. I mean, everybody has a lane, and there's a place for being average. I'm not in that place.
If you didn't hear her, average isn't bad. Everybody has a place. She's just not in the average lane. Listen, let's keep going. I'm not mad at you, honey. I'm not mad at you. Does the guy have to look a certain way? Wait 7 seconds.
Does a man have to look a certain way?
Yes, appearance. So the question is more so aesthetic. Do you have an aesthetic requirement for the way your man should look?
I would prefer him to be tall. And when I say tall, just that when I put heels on, if he's taller than me, would be great.
At 40 years old. That's the first thing that came out her mind. At 40 years old, bitch, you are a grown woman. That is your requirement. That's the first thing that rattles out off the top of her head for requirement to be with a man is that she wants to wear heels and that's why she's sitting up calling a YouTube show looking for a man. That's why you on YouTube looking for a man, because you can't find one. That's fucking. Because here's the thing, like, it would be, and this is gonna sound backwards, but it's the reality. It would be a better requirement. Like, let's say if a man said, "Oh well, she has to play Dungeons and Dragons." Like, at first, motherfuckers will roast a man for saying some shit like that. But the reality behind Dungeons and Dragons is you guys have something actually in common you can talk about, right? Right. See, at first, a guy will get roasted saying, "Oh, well, she has to like Xbox 360 or some shit like that," right? Like, at first, your first thought would be to roast him, like, "Oh, you're a fucking nerd," whatever. But the reality of that type of requirement, oh, she has to like Baldur's Gate 3 or some shit like that. The reality of that requirement is having something that you genuinely like to do in common, that you can talk about and do together. What you gonna do? Just be tall together? Like, we just be tall together. Like, be honest, like, I've had girlfriends taller than me. The one girlfriend, she had breast cancer. She died about 3 years ago. She died 2 years ago. This is before my girl was pregnant. I found out she died. She was taller than me. She was taller than me. It doesn't bother men. I think the thing is, a lot of men won't do it because they know that women can be funny about it. But yeah, so you 40 years old, you have no kids, so you're essentially just a walking corpse at this point, because you have no kids, you have no stable spouse. As a woman, she's a walking corpse because she's not going to have any kids, or it'd be severe. I would highly advise her not to at this point. And the first thing out her mind is to be so she could wear heels with him at fucking 40 years old. Heels. That's what you think, heels. That's really what you thinking about. Heels at 40. But if you don't go to get your fucking lordosis fixed, I don't know, you got all types of vein and back problems and use the heels. Them shits ain't comfortable. Heels. Heels is for 20-year-old bitches. Right? Your daughter need to be wearing heels at 40. You talking about 40 heels. Is this that Nicole Scherzinger shit? Heels. So don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me? Bitch, your daughter need to be singing that song, not you. And don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me? At 43 singing that shit. Get your old ass off the stage. Your daughter need to be walking around, not you. Heels. Think of it's enough to make it go crazy. Heels. Her feet hurting. She got to wear band-aids on her pinky toe. And she done got a sore on the top of her heel and shit from wearing the heels. And she 40. Trying to walk, prance around like she's 25. Grow the fuck up. The men who got a $500,000 house don't want you. Because if they did, they would have you. Okay? You need to slow down on them heels because your back get ready to be tore up. All right? You too grown. You too old. You're 40. You too old. All right? Talking about standards to go out and be personable with somebody. You too old for that. You too old. At this point, I would admire her more if she loved to play fucking Dragon Ball Z on PlayStation 2. That shit would make her stand out and be like, yeah, you need to fuck with her. Because now that's some rare shit that's actually interesting. How the fuck did a 40-year-old woman get into Dragon Ball Z on PlayStation 2? Now that shit would be interesting. Find me if Nicole Scherzinger came out and said, yeah, I just love the second season of Power Rangers. Word? That would make me think more of that bitch in them heels. I'd be like, word, for real, Nicole? Who was your favorite Ranger? Then I'd be interested. That'd be, wow. That was something truly interesting. I bet Elon Musk be like, damn, I bet Elon Musk he'd be like, what, huh? She thinks Tommy's the best Ranger? For real? Like, you'd be what? That shit would be, if a bitch said, yeah, I just want to learn how to play chess. As I try to play chess, and you actually play her in chess, and she's good. Now that's something to be like, damn, that I really got to think about that shit. I can't lose. See, as you get older, when you're younger, everybody's trying to look good for everybody else, so they're gonna say all the cliche shit. But as you get older, being that one rarity becomes a special thing, right? You become special for owning it. If a bitch came up to you and said, you know what, I love VR Troopers, that would make me like that. That would make me okay. Right? Despite what this goofy hoe thinks, despite what she thinks, see, at $15 million. Okay, look, I said this a while back. The only man that's gonna be impressed with your money is men who don't have your money, aka the men that you not gonna want. All right. No man. Okay. The men. I'm gonna say this again. The men who's gonna be impressed with her money, the one talking about $150,000 on my bio, all that bullshit. The only man who's gonna be impressed by that is the men who don't have it. Okay. Because the men who have it and not gonna be the men who have it are gonna be more impressed with the fact that you like Metabots. The word Metabots, I ain't even heard that in a long time. Metabots, what the fuck? Huh? She like Mortal Kombat. She like Mortal Kombat? Motherfucker ain't played that in about 20 years and sit down and, you know what I mean, and pick Liu Kang and get it in. Back, forward. You remember that? No, that's Raiden. Back, forward. I forget Liu Kang. No, it's just that down, up before you do that one kick. But yeah, You know what I'm saying? It may not even video games. It could be, you know, a genuine, just have a genuine interest. But you trying to prance around, trying to keep up with these 23-year-old bitches and spend $150,000 on your body to try to keep up with it. You embarrassing yourself. You trying to imitate being 20 still. It's embarrassing. Now, a motherfucker will still fuck with you just because you have a pussy and you're a woman. They'll still fuck with you, but you're embarrassing. That is embarrassing. You're aging. You're older. Grow up. Develop in another way. Right? You need to find a man like me or better than me that'll teach you and help you out. I got my girl reading Esther Perel now, because that's the Esther Perel, from what I was able to look up on Esther Perel. Let's find her real quick. That's the only woman that I would recommend women listen to. I spelled her name wrong, but this woman. This is the only woman.
Hi, everyone. Welcome.
This is the only woman who I ever heard speak where I was like, yeah, you need to listen to her. So now my girl, she ordered her books and she getting ready to read what the fuck she's talking about. There's the only woman who I would say, yeah, she guys it right. I'm sure I probably don't agree with her on certain areas because I didn't look too deep into her, but I could recommend her. I've recommended her to my girl, to Kratos' mom. So she said she bought. So maybe I'll look a little more into it after she brings the books here, type of thing, and I'll look into it. But she seems to get she's open about women need a leader. Like, women don't be doing shit right when they be left alone. Like, they need to be taught by a man. Like women need to be taught by a man, dude. They need that shit.
So in order.
Yeah, she too old. This woman, you just too old to just be like that, right? But again, the only thing that gets her, them Nicole Scherzingers or whoever it is, what was this girl, her, Brittany Renner, it's all this. They all have the one thing in common that's gonna get them by, is that they can put on 10 pounds of makeup, put on something tight, and just pass as skinny, healthy woman. And just start sucking the right dicks, and that's gonna her career will flow. Well, she ain't sucking the right dicks because she can't get in the right room. But you know what I'm trying to say. She got to dangle her pussy around to the right men, right? She obviously is not sucking the right dicks because she had to break down and go on YouTube looking for a man. You know what I mean, to jump her financial bracket. So she don't know where the right dicks are. Her problem is she don't know where the right dicks are. Because she's so fucked up, she's not allowed in them groups. Because if she was all right, she would have been allowed into those groups, right? And the reason why I say it is because she's not the prettiest woman. She's an attractive woman, but she's not the prettiest woman. So she would be allowed into those groups. She don't even know where those groups are. So she can't even suck the right dicks, right? Aaron Pizzi, whose books I read. Okay, I never even heard of her. Let's look her up. I never showed you guys my keyboard. I have a Czech keyboard, so it's a little off. Never heard of this woman. I'll check her out though. I've been meaning to post a screenshot of my keyboard because
So in order,
some things get difficult or just awkward. So like the Z and the Y are flipped on this keyboard, and then if I want to use like a special symbol, I just have no idea what it is with the English keyboard because it's just all like different. So if I remember, I'll post a screenshot of my keyboard so you see what I'm looking at. Like a lot of stuff is still pretty similar, but it's like the little things that are off. I still get a little confused when I type on the MacBook. iPad, you don't have that problem because it's just a screen, so they can just change the keyboard however they want it. But for those of you who are like, maybe living in another country or something like that, and you got the keyboards, it can, fuck with you a bit. I tried to learn how to type on a Russian keyboard. I ended up giving up, but I didn't give up because it was too hard. I can't remember why I stopped. but because they have a whole different alphabet. I got into keyboards for some reason with foreign languages and how they look. Like it's something. Let's look it up right now. It's pretty interesting, I thought. Let's look up. Blasky pictures. Yeah. So that's like the Russian keyboard. Can you guys see that? Yeah, you should be. Wait, I can see it on my screen over here. I just got really into shit like this for a while. Like it's just like what, like to remember the sounds. Like the backwards R is ya in Russian. That circle above the backwards R, that's the F sound. So I remember the sounds. Most of like the H makes the N sound. Like most language, the Y is like the E, or I always pronounce it wrong. The backwards 3, if I remember correctly, is a Z sound. The upside down capital L is the P sound, if I remember correctly. No, not that one. No. That's the R or because that the big N looking one, that's the P, if I remember right. Because privet is spelled with that, and then the other one. No, that's the G. I can't remember now. I lost track of it. But yeah, I got really into like foreign keyboards. But trying to type on it is like, wow. So I can just show you my Czech keyboard. Let's do. So it's mostly the same, but like it's just yeah. So this is what my keyboard. Yeah, this is what my keyboard looks like now. So like it's mostly the same, but it's just like little things that like kind of throw you off sometimes, especially when you have like an English keyboard. And like switching back and forth, it'll like fuck you up when you're trying to type, you know, like a specific, like a special symbol. Like if I want to put an exclamation point or something like that, like I have to just remember it's like I think it's like Shift and 1 for the, because on mine it's the plus sign. I mean, you can see it up here, so it'll fuck you up, but it's you know, it's cool. Modern women need an exorcism. Yeah. Yoshi wants to play Ocarina of Time. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like, I mean, pretty much anything that would truly be something different. Like, women don't realize how basic they are. Like, they'll be slightly different in what they're attracted to, though. But when it comes to just overall hobbies and skills and things they pay attention to, things they like, it's all the same shit. Now, one thing I did get kind of surprised. My girl knew what Dakar was. Because I told her there was this Dakar game I wanted to play. So here, I'll show you. For guys who may not know what Dakar is. Dakar is this racing where they're just in the desert, dude. And they're just in the fucking desert. And they just have to follow directions. And like they're like literally just like alone in the desert, and they just follow directions to where to go, how to get, you know, where you're trying to get. And I got into it for a little while, and she actually knew what it was. I think her one of her dad's friends was a mechanic for Dakar, and that's how she knew what it was. But yeah, I always thought this was pretty cool. So let's look up a video. Top Gear, yeah, they gonna Red Bull. I think they race like motorcycles and shit. Let's go back to YouTube and let me find a YouTube channel that's not popular. Then that means I won't get yelled at for.
So in order to
trying to find some small, like some independent channel. Well, this should be fine, like these shorts. Because they can race like trucks, or they can race like. They're just alone in the desert. I mean, it's not like the best thing to show, but yeah, like this is so yeah. I would say if anybody's interested, I would say like look at there's a game that came out. It looked good, but I heard it got really bad reviews because it was just inconsistent with steering and shit. But yeah, if a woman were to say she was into that. Like, but I met a girl. Matter of fact, I met a girl at the university in the library, and she actually took me up and like she took my phone and found me in my phone. She took my phone and friended me on Instagram, right? And she showed me, she did this sport. I can't remember what the name of that sport was. I never heard of it. She did a sport. Because she's working on her doctorate degree. She's working on her doctorate in the biology department where I was going to the library at. This is why I say, like, if you're trying to meet an interested woman, just start hanging out in libraries, man. Especially university libraries. If you can get a card in there in whatever country you're in. Here you can. So I met her in there. And I was actually looking for courses for my girl to go take down there that were free, because you can do that. You just don't get any credit for it. So they set me up with this girl. She did this sport where you hold onto this sail, but you're not in the water. You're like on ice, and you like sail like across like something that looks like Antarctica or some shit like that. And it's like, it's a sport. And she won like the championship, and she showed me all her pictures, the videos of her doing it. And that was like really interesting shit. She was like, I was like really taken aback by like, wow, I did not expect to hear some shit like that. Right? But I forgot what I don't even remember what even happened. I don't think I ever wrote her. So much shit goes on in my life. But yeah, I still remember that girl. Cause she was saying how other girls were jealous of her. Cause she was a hot girl. She's got to be in shape to do, a sport like that. Cause I think like, cause the way you had to do it was like, it was no bullshit. Cause she was into that. And a lot of chicks are into skiing too. So like skiing is like a big hobby here. Like you go to the store and they'll sell you some skis. You know what I mean? Like skis. And spend money on them motherfuckers too. Like, I'm not buying no fucking skis, bro. Fuck. But they sell that shit. Like, it's a thing here. When snow hits, they go hiking and go in the mountains and shit like that. So she was into all that. But that's why I say, man, like, if you're trying to meet an intelligent girl, man, you got to either start teaching at universities or go to university libraries. Now, I wasn't going there specifically looking for pussy, but I would always end up kind of like stumbling into a woman some kind of way, like some younger girl, some kind of way like that. Because I was really just going there for the library, to be honest. But then that's when I remember that's when I noticed like how bad younger guys are with women. Like when I would just kind of like watch them and like how women would look at them kind of thing. Like that's when it really started to hit me, like how far I came and seeing what I probably used to be. Because women are just ahead. They're just ahead on a social level, man. You just can't. Those guys have no chance with those girls for anything serious. They just watching a group of 22-year-old girls with 22-year-old guys is like watching fucking LeBron James playing high school. It's just a man playing with boys kind of thing. Like it's adults playing with children. Like it really is. And I'm sure some people watching there are like 22, 23, but that's just the fucking reality, man. Like watching them just interact and move. It's like the young girls are just playing with them, and the guys are like they're like clearly putting everything they have into it, kind of thing. It's just really, or the guys are just so socially awkward, in the standpoint of like being aware that like the women are they're just ahead of guys in those ages, completely. Every now and then you have a guy who maybe grew up with a single mother and he gets it, and every now and then, or some guy just gets it, but those are pretty rare. Like they're usually just oblivious. But yeah, that's it. I'm gonna get out of here. Oh, you miss? I think I will fire up Mario Maker. It's just I gotta hook up the Switch, but it's right behind his laptop. But I'll probably play Mario Maker Thursday. I don't know. They are ahead, but it's in their nature. They don't earn it and have to. Oh yeah, it's not. Yeah, they don't earn it at all. No, it's not like they went out and practiced any. Okay, a big reason why they're ahead too is because women sell because of what they look like, whereas men don't really sell as much just because of what they look like. Probably more in these ages though, to be fair. But the thing is, like, a pretty woman is so intimidating, right? Like a pretty woman is far more intimidating than, I guess, like a beautiful guy to a girl, right? A guy who's like super hot to a girl is not the same level of intimidating of, let's say, like a hot 20-year-old to like a guy. So the guys will be like awkward and scared and all that. So guys have a lot more to overcome, right? And women just expect, right? But yeah, and I agree. No, they don't earn it by any means. If anything, it's their biology is what ends up pushing the men to have to work harder, because men have to overlook their beauty and not, compliment them too much. But it's like, but it hurt. Like, they'll be so pretty, it hurts. Like, it's when they're 20, man. When they're 20, they're just so beautiful. It hurts, dude. Like, it hurts. They're just so naturally beautiful at those ages. So as a man, you have to rise above that hurt beauty, that hurt from their beauty, and keep a level head and not fold in on it. No, we have to climb much higher, right? It's a much harder road. Whereas the woman just exists. She just walks in there, maybe, put on a little bit of makeup, brushed her hair, and just sits there, right? You don't have to do anything. Oh, years ago, Ivy Bolt, man, yeah, I loved it, man. But like something, I don't know, like I can't my streams get fucked up. Like, they start getting choppy, and it doesn't stay. They used to stay smooth the whole time through. Like, I was confident in them back then, but they just get. I've tried like redoing the whole operating system and all that to like clear out everything. I don't know what the problem is in my streaming. But yeah, I mean, if I would do it, I don't have anything against doing it again. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here because it's late. So have a good night, man. I'm hungry. And I'm still a little sick. So yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all have a good night, man. I'll catch y'all later. Hope you have a good day, evening, night, wherever you are. And peace out.
you